All right, so I saw that we had somebody named Vince in Nashville that I really wanted to take. Vince, you're live with Eric Murphy and Rafe. Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm on. I heard a big weird buzz in my ear. I guess I'm on.
Yeah, that indicates that you are live. How are you doing?
Great. Oh, not too bad.
Good. What'd you want to talk about?
I'll probably get a lot less intellectual than you've been in the last, for how long I've been listening, which is about 10 minutes.
Well, yeah, dude, I'm on the air now, so
don't worry, I'm the same.
Far less intellectual.
We all look dumb compared to Steve. Don't worry.
Oh gosh.
Right.
So, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah. Well, I'm just have a little thing I wrote down here. If that's allowed, I'll read a paragraph.
Yeah. I have had somebody say I want to read a paragraph, and it turned out to be like a 4-page manuscript. So
that's about 5 or 6 lines.
You're good, man. Go right ahead.
Okay. God, of course, does exist.
Of course.
It has existed in all probability long before humanity existed. Back to the very first conscious being that had the ability to contemplate itself, its own existence, the world it exists in, must have at some point wondered why, how does existence exist? The fact that everything exists is because something caused existence.
Okay. So that is right along with what the last call was about. So first,
right.
I think saying that God, of course, exists is presupposing the whole thing we're talking about. So, we were obviously going to throw that part out, right?
The concept of God is God.
Well, then if that's the case, then...
There's God up in the sky, and there's no God past the universe.
Well, then are you saying that God exists in the same way that Harry Potter exists?
I guess it's in your imagination. It's God is in my consciousness. My consciousness exists. God exists.
Well, then there you go. He exists in the metaphysical substrate. Has a deeper truth. Sorry, I'm not. Who cares though? Why should I care about an idea that people are spreading if it doesn't? When we talk to people who say that they believe in a deity, they're usually talking about consequences of hell and justification for bigotry and a lot of these things that separate families and cause people to disown each other. If you're saying that an idea exists because it's an idea.
I have to say, if God is kind of individual to everyone in the minds of everyone, then why does it matter if there's a God or not? What are the consequences?
Pretty much.
Okay. So
what?
That was just a little side thing, though.
Oh, that's a side thing.
The main thing is what's that?
Okay. That. What's your main thing? Because I think we're going to agree with you that the Bible exists as a book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That is true.
Fine.
Right, and that's a good little segue. There, I'm going to read my next thing.
How many things do we have?
Just these 2, and then we can talk about them, I guess.
Okay.
There are no contradictions with reality and what the Bible says that can't be overcome by what the Bible says. That's why this...
I think if you're willing to cherry pick all of your favorite stuff and not read all of your least favorite stuff, then you're right.
All of it. Every bit of it.
Every bit of it. So do you think if I found a contradiction in the Bible and you couldn't justify it, then what?
That's faith.
Who cares about faith?
This proof is not allowed. Evidence is a no-no in this. This faith is the main thing in the God and Jesus Club.
Okay, who cares though? If you're talking about concepts in a fiction book that has no consequence, why the hell should I care about what's in it?
I'm just saying, how can you? I'm just saying, basically, you can't win an argument with I guess the Christian religion based on that.
Well, of course you can, because if people are using the Christian religion and the Bible to justify their actions, but God is individual to everyone and only in people's minds, then how can you use that to justify the actions of other people? How can you say you shouldn't be able to get married, or you shouldn't be able to have kids, or you shouldn't treat people this way because my God in my head says this? How can you say that?
That's exactly what you say. Because that's what my God from the Bible says, and I'm taking it on faith.
That's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Why would you want to live in that world?
All right. There's a God in my head who wants you to go and jump off a bridge. Are you going to do it?
I mean, you can't argue against that.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. You completely can.
That's the answer to the argument. It's safe.
Well, okay, hold on a second. So let's try this exercise. What was your example, Rachel?
There's a God in my head, and you have to believe he's there because faith. And he wants you to jump off a bridge. And my God says that, and I've got this book.
Okay, and I say, but I'm gonna fight you on this because
No, my God says that you have to do it.
Oh.
Yeah.
But what if I want to argue with you about it?
You can't do that. My God says you can't.
Oh, is it because you have faith?
Yeah.
Well, fuck, I guess I have to jump off
I
the
know.
bridge. Is that
Sorry,
what we're
Eric.
talking about?
Exactly right.
Wow! Oh my gosh! What?
I mean, isn't that it? I mean, it's...
No, what? I'm blowing out the microphone. I'm yelling into it. What? What universe do you live in, man? We have to live in this world together, which means we have to share values and we have to talk about those things and agree on them.
Jump off a bridge? How many way more terrible things are in the Bible than jumping off a bridge?
I agree.
Yeah. Slavery, killing your kids, is that okay?
Well, if it's faith.
Yeah.
According to the religion, it is, right?
Hold on.
Are you trying to justify this or say that it's bad?
Are you a Poe? A Poe is someone that's so ridiculous that you can't tell if they're joking or serious.
I'm guessing this is what the religion is. I mean, if it's all based on faith, then you have to believe everything on faith. That's the religion. That's the main thing in the religion.
Do you agree with it?
Oh, I don't agree with it at all. No, heck no.
Why are we talking then? What was this about?
How can you get an argument if that's what the Christians should be telling you, right?
No. Okay, hold on. Because that's strawmanning their position. I've talked to plenty of Christians who have wildly different beliefs because they justify it based on whatever parts of the Bible they want to take. And if I really want to be honest and an honest interlocutor, hold on a second.
Taking the entire Bible.
Vince, let me finish. Let me finish, Vince. If I want to be an honest interlocutor, I need to listen to what they say and what their points are to be able to honestly engage with it, right? If they don't believe exactly what you said, but they still want to discuss how they define and see their deity, then I can A, write them off and say, well, I'm not talking about that, or B, openly listen and engage with where they are. While that's a great straw man, or you know what? Honestly, no, it's not just a straw man. You can steel man some people's positions that way. You know, if they say this is exactly what I believe, then you can address it just that way. But if they don't take that position, you're stuck with who you're talking to. Otherwise, you're just being dishonest.
Well, aren't there some that just take the entire Bible, the first part and the last part? What is the old and new?
Yeah.
There are some people who take the Bible literally, but you can't criticize what you think they think. You have to criticize their words and their actions on an individual basis. You can't just say, well, some Christians think this, and therefore I'm going to assume all think this. You can't just make these assumptions.
It's not what they think, it's what's there, right?
No.
They're taking
Unfortunately,
exactly what is in the Bible.
Vince,
Everything.
unfortunately not. People rationalize people rationalize a lot of bad ideas. The only way that we're going to be able to walk them through it is if we meet them where they are first. It's an argument that I had with someone at the American Atheist Convention at the bar. So they said there is no reason to be charitable in listening to these Christian callers, and I said, then you are never going on my show, and there is no reason for you to initiate conversations with them. You need to be able to listen and engage from there. You have to.
Conversation is a two-way thing. Even if you go into it thinking you're not going to agree with anything the other person says, you still need to listen to them and give them, the time of day, actually consider what they have to say. You can't just go in there thinking, this person's going to be wrong, so I'm not going to bother.
Or they're absolutely stuck with, a literal interpretation of the Bible. Because
that's what I'm saying. The literal interpretation of everything in the Bible.
Yeah, we got you. But okay, agreed. And when you talk to somebody and they say that's what their point is,
you can critique that. Yeah.
And even then, if they say I have faith, then you can say, do you live the rest of your life that irrationally? You know, if you want to talk about what rationality is, right? If you want to determine whether or not the evidence is sufficient to warrant the belief, then you can.
A true Christian who is going completely.
Whoa,
doesn't
hold
care
on.
about that at all. Rationality doesn't matter.
No, Vince.
Right?
You just committed the no
Maybe
true
there's nobody
Scotsman
like that. I don't know,
fallacy.
I'm just guessing.
Vince, you just committed the no true Scotsman fallacy.
So what was that?
The no true Scotsman fallacy. Do you want to tell
Go on,
me?
you take it.
Okay,
You'll explain better than me.
Explain, please.
Sure. So, let's see. Rachel, help me with this. So we'll discuss this together. I'm gonna say, all true Scotsmen drink a pint of beer every Thursday, and if you don't drink a pint of beer every Thursday, you're not a true Scotsman.
Yeah.
Right.
At which point Rachel can say, but Eric, look at your neighbor. He's a Scotsman, and he doesn't drink beer at all. And I say, well, that just means he's not a true Scotsman. Does that register? Well, no.
Of course.
Of course it doesn't register, right? Because that...
Wait. You're saying that they're not the
Right.
fact that you're saying that they're not a true Scotsman if they don't drink every Thursday.
Right. I'm doing something fallacious when I say that, because whether or not you drink beer on Thursdays has nothing to do with whether or not you're from fucking Scotland. Right?
But what is a true Scotsman?
Exactly. There's no such thing, but saying there is.
Yeah, what you're doing is you're
problem.
defining people out of the conversation.
Yeah.
Right? I used to do it all the time as a Christian.
I guess maybe to put things a bit simply, you could say.
But that person does think that there is a true Scotsman, and then you are not it.
And that person is wrong.
Yeah. It's like, imagine.
Not to that person that's completely right.
Yeah, but what does being wrong feel like, Vince?
Well, what being wrong feels like is what it feels like to you.
No, being wrong feels exactly like being right. Just because it feels right does not mean you are right. And if someone is doing something wrong and you want to help them grow as a person...
Objectively, that guy is right. Right?
No.
Objectively, of course he's wrong.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Objectively, in his own mind, he's completely right.
And that's where you need to step in and say, hey, let me help you with your epistemology. Let me help you learn more about the world around you so that you can be better at understanding.
No, you cannot help me. It's in the Bible. It's there, and
Vince,
that's it. You can't help me. What do you mean?
Vince, the Christian hat doesn't look good on you. Take it off. I'm talking to you.
Right?
Vince, the Christian hat doesn't look good on you. Take it off. I'm talking to you. Because I want to interact with you.
Oh, yeah, maybe you're right.
Yeah, I want to talk to you because I want to help make you a better interlocutor, right? I want to work on your epistemology to help make you better at this. And you start by recognizing that the saying, this person's not a true Christian. I used to do it as a Christian all the time. Oh, I'm a true Christian. You know, those Catholics, they're not true Christians, or Mormons, they're not true Christians because they don't follow my exact dogma. What you're doing is you're saying, well, I'm part of the actual group and those are the outsiders. We don't have a horse in the race. So because of that, if someone says they're a Christian, you say, okay. Because that's their definition. You meet them where they're at. What you just did when you said, well, they're not a true Christian, you committed the exact same fallacious thinking that they did. And I'm calling you on it, Vince. You need to stop that.
They're not a true Christian.
Yes, you need to stop that.
What a true Christian is.
You don't know what a true Christian is because that's something that they apply to themselves. Right? A Christian is a Christian. If they say they are, I'm going to say okay, because why would I make them meet whatever tests that I have so that they can prove that they're a Christian to me? That's silly.
Right.
You're better than that. So don't fall into that line of thinking. I'm helping you. We're helping you here.
Mainly what I'm asking is what is the intention of the Bible and all the Bible stories?
Way too complex for a single answer. And honestly, if I were to presume to, then that presumption would be ridiculous.
Yeah. I think.
But it is there. All those bad things are there.
Yeah. I think if you want to take a very, very, very simple kind of look at what the Bible is, take it as stories and lessons of how to live your life, if you want to look at it like that. Take them as kind of like metaphors and allegories and almost like fables. I don't know if you've ever read like.
Right, but I'm not taking any of it like that. But
No, you don't have to, but some
take it
people
all.
do.
Some Christians wouldn't believe that. They would say, "No, I'm not going to take it as metaphor. I'm taking it as honest as the truth."
Oh, completely. There are some Christians who take the Bible literally, but you critique their individual views. Not all Christians. You can't.
I'm saying those. How do you answer those that take it literally?
Okay,
that we can do.
Yeah, that's a well-phrased question. For those who take it literally, how do you address it? Can you see the fundamental difference between the way you said that then, or just now, versus the way you said it earlier?
And I'm saying also that you can't really address it because it's all based in faith.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I disagree. I think you can address it because there are some parts of the Bible that claim to be historical fact. There are some parts of the Bible that claim to be based on science, and we can use objective fact, we can use evidence to prove it wrong, and we can show that taking the Bible literally is just objectively wrong. For example, help me out with something. Give me an example. Okay, so like if there's a story of Jesus curing like lepers, right? Mm-hmm. We have no evidence that actually happened. So the people who want to take that literally, we'd have to say, no, wait. Until we get some evidence that Jesus cured lepers, or a person called Jesus cured lepers, or a person who claimed to be the Son of God cured lepers, until we get some actual solid objective evidence of that, we can't take that story literally. We can just take a message away from it, if you want to interpret it.
But of course all they have to say is, well, I don't have to give you any evidence. I'm taking that on faith.
At which
evidence
point?
Is a no-no. I don't need.
Okay, then.
Proof is a no-no. It's faith.
Yeah, Vince. What we do on this show is we say, "What good is faith then? Does faith lead you to learning more about the world, or is it just justifying your own presuppositions?" And if they say, "I'm justifying my own presuppositions," then it's up to you how long you want to engage with them. Because at that point, if they're not willing to engage, they're not willing to engage.
I would say as well, just pick your battles. Right. Not everyone is worth fighting. If a person is taking the Bible literally but not harming anyone, then, to what extent
that's the only thing you can
fight
do, really. That is the only thing you can do.
I disagree.
I know what you mean, but I mean, like, to what extent? Not saying don't.
Yeah, I think it totally depends on, they might not be harming someone, but if they're still willing to have the conversation.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I just mean like, passing a random person on the street. You don't want to be like, right. Well, you.
Well, you're just wearing a sandwich board, right? There is no God, fight me, right? Yeah, we're not doing that. But from there, man, it's just totally up to you.
Yeah.
Right.
So I hope that helped.
Very good points.
Yeah, I hope that helped.
I'll just find to be devil's advocate, basically. But my main thing is.
Oh, you had that wasn't the main thing, Vince. You're burying the lead, man. Not. Come on, help me out here.
All right.
Last one.
The universe created consciousness. Consciousness created a creator of the universe.
Vince,
that's amazing.
Do you believe that, or are you being sarcastic?
This is what I believe.
Is this true? Because if you're being sarcastic, I'm going to say take that hat off.
No. I'm not being sarcastic. This is my kind of concept.
Okay.
What is? Why?
I don't think we have time to dig into that, but the whole the universe created consciousness thing. I have some issues with that statement.
We are the universe. We are part of the universe.
Yeah, but that's just mental masturbation, Vince. Why? That's mental masturbation at that point. How's that? Well, the universe created consciousness, but I didn't really mean it really like created, because we're all part of it. Mm-hmm. Come on, dude.
What do you mean, come on? How did consciousness come into being? It's the universe
consciousness
came into being, so consciousness came into being by way of us. Mm-hmm. We are part of the universe.
Well, then it sounds like you answered your own question.
What's that?
Sounds like you answered your own question.
We are, yeah.
Consciousness is a byproduct of having a brain. We have brains. Therefore, that consciousness exists within each of us that has a working brain.
Right? Human beings and all living conscious beings are not apart from the universe.
No.
We're part of the universe.
I did not take a position against that. Where's the rub? Because it sounds
what?
it sounds the verbiage you used made it sound like the universe had some kind of intelligence where it intended to create consciousness for a reason. When you say created, those things kind of get squeezed in with it.
Yeah,
You have to be very careful of the words you're
my
using.
verbiage, I got you.
Yeah, but if without intent, there's no conversation. Who cares?
Without the universe, there would be no consciousness.
Agreed.
So, as a byproduct of the universe, which is part of the universe, is us.
Agreed.
We are made of stardust. We're part of the universe. We are the universe.
Beautifully said. That said, I think
we have consciousness. Therefore, the universe is conscious.
So yeah. Take up.
What's wrong with that statement?
It's the fallacy of division and composition.
Is actually conscious because we are the universe.
Look up the fallacy of composition and division, and you'll see why that verbiage is so problematic. But check it out.
Name for that.
Can you explain it?
I've got 2 people who are waiting to take the next call, and it would be inconsiderate of me to do so. But look it up and then call next week so we can talk about what you read. That way we can be a little further along in the process. Yeah.
I guess I just thought it was a brilliant thing that I thought of, but
no worries. I honestly, Vince, I'll tell you that I had a conversation with Cosmic Skeptic and Rationality Rules, and they were sitting and they were having these deep philosophical conversations. And
it's more of a philosophical thing for sure.
And I told them how insanely jealous I was that they get to have people to bounce this kind of stuff off of, because for years I wanted to have those discussions and I never got to. But when you can find those places where you can have those discussions, check out our Discord, check it out on Facebook. You know, there are a lot of places where you can go that you can engage in those discussions. Oh my gosh, it sounds like you're hungry for those conversations. I know what that feels like. But look.
Definitely.
All right?
Cool.
All right. Take care, brother.
All right, man.
All right.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.